never wanted to work at Area 51. I was a security contractor, ex-military, looking for a high-paying job that didn't involve getting shot at overseas. When the opportunity came up, high clearance, remote location, excellent pay, it seemed like a dream. It wasn't. I can't disclose everything, obviously. Even speaking about this puts me at risk. But I need to tell someone, because no one would believe what I saw. I was stationed at the outer perimeter, monitoring cameras and patrolling the fences. The actual base, the part you see in blurry satellite photos, was still miles away from where I worked. But even in the outer sectors, security was no joke. Armed guards, biometric scanners, underground tunnels. It was all straight out of a sci-fi movie. The first time I knew something was off was during my second week. A vehicle arrived in the middle of the night, blacked out SUVs carrying men in suits. That wasn't unusual. What was unusual was what they were transporting. A reinforced steel crate, about the size of a small truck, covered with thick tarps and strapped down, like it was ready to break free at any second. The men unloading it wouldn't speak, wouldn't look at us. They just moved it toward a reinforced elevator shaft that descended into the earth. And that was the last time I saw the crate. But it wasn't the last time I heard it. About a week later, I was on my usual midnight patrol when I heard something. A deep, guttural noise, almost like breathing, but too mechanical to wrong. It echoed through the underground corridors, vibrating through the concrete beneath my feet. I asked my supervisor about it. "Stay out of Sector 9, was all he said. I didn't ask again. The first guy who went missing was Perez. Good guy, always followed orders. One night he just vanished. His security badge was found near the entrance to Sector 9, but no body, no sign of a struggle, just gone. They told us he deserted, but that didn't make sense. No one deserts from Area 51. There's nowhere to go. After Perez, others started reporting things. Shadows moving where there shouldn't be shadows. Flickering lights. A sound like static whispering through the radio channels. And then, I saw it. I was stationed near an underground checkpoint when the power cut out. Just for a second. But in that second, I saw movement down the hall. A silhouette. Taller than any man, hunched and unnatural. It was watching me. The emergency lights flickered on, and it was gone. I told myself it was my imagination. But the next day, I was reassigned. No explanation. No warning. Just handed new orders and moved to a different part of the facility. That's when I knew whatever was in Sector 9, they weren't containing it. It was getting out. My final shift was quiet. Too quiet. Around 3 a.m., an alarm went off. One I had never heard before. Red lights flashed. The entire facility went on lockdown. Through the security monitors, I saw figures moving. Not men. Long, distorted limbs. Pale skin that seemed to shift in and out of the light. Some were crawling, others moving upright in jerky, unnatural motions. The last thing I saw before the feed cut out was a group of men in hazmat suits, dragging one of those crates toward an incinerator room. Whatever was inside didn't want to go. The screams still haunt me. By morning, the base was back to normal. No alarms, no emergency reports. Perez's name was erased from the records. It was like he had never existed. That was the day I turned in my resignation. They didn't stop me. They didn't even acknowledge me as I left. But I knew. I knew I was being watched. And now, even years later, I still see them. Not always. Not clearly. But in the corner of my vision, in places they shouldn't be. Those tall, shifting figures. They never really let you leave.